Welcome back to Pega Power Up. Today we are starting a new series. This series is to help you or to give you a high level understanding of what is there in the system architect recent release, that is Pega Platform 24.2. We will walk through each and every mission one by one at a high level. After seeing this review, you can go visit the mission, go through the exercises, and you can do it on your own time. This is to just give you a high level information. So let's get started. Head over to Pega Academy and find out the system architect. You can easily find it out, and then later on choose the 24.2 here, and let's see what is there as the first mission. So here we see low code app builder. Click on it. Let's see what are all the 12 different modules in the low code app builder. So here we see the first module is low code defined. So basically in this low code defined, what do we have in the sense, we Pega, what does it mean to be a low code, and what are all the different studios, app studio, generative AI, integrating with the external applications. So low code app development, as we all know, Pega is a low code platform where we don't have to write a number of code. We do it in it is a software that builds in software, right? Software that writes your software. So that is about it. And we have like what is the difference and what does it mean to be a low code developer. That is what is there in this particular topic. Let's move on to the next topic. I mean, you can go through one by one, and at a high level they are given about the studios. At a high level we'll cover what is app studio, dev studio, production studio, and admin studio. If you already learned what is Pega, you would have definitely known it. So app studio is pretty much, even it has been advised for the developers to use the app studio. Only certain configurations with its like integration, only for that situations they are expecting us to use the dev studio. Apart from that, app studio from its inception, it has been extremely improved, and we have lots of features there. So app studio, dev studio is where basically developers will be working on. Prediction studio is where we build for the decision strategies, and admin studio is where we do the deployment agents, basically job scheduler and queue processor. That's where we configure and see. So at a high level they walk through what it is about, and you can go through and read it. And now we have a quiz. So let's do one thing, and let's take a guess. So which three authoring studios are found in Pega platform? If you are a Pega developer already, what will be your answer? So we have to choose three. Right now I'm choosing app studio, dev studio, and admin studio. If you have the same, and let's check the answer. So as you all know, this is the three studios. Access manager and case type and data objects are not studios. Moving on to the next topic. So they've given in detail what is an app studio and how it is different from a dev studio, what are all the different layers. So they even asked you, app studio is a low code development studio for citizen developers and system architects alike. Yes, it is true, because that's what is the expectation that's been recently set. It is, if in case, for example, integration configurations cannot be done in app studio, so only for that we are expected to switch to dev studio. And they talked about the application layers. So Pega platform offers two architecture. One is constellation architecture and another one is traditional UI architecture. Constellation architecture, that rule set stack, it is view-based interface, whereas whatever we use in our existing applications, that is traditional UI architecture, it is developed on the Team Cosmos rule set. So that is the differentiation. And from here, you'll be able to see the application layers. Basically, in the App Studio, you can go and explore this option. If you look at here, Constellation, whereas here we see Cosmos roles. So this visually you can go and check. And what supports agile methodology and providing an authoring space. So one more thing is in App Studio we also I have Agile Studio, where it is a tool that is similar to Jira, where we can track the features and we can develop application features, and even you can test it. like scenario testing is there. That let's not get in detail about it. At a gist we are covering about this. Let's move on to the next topic. Here they have covered generative AI topics, what are all the different AI tools that is come up with in the current edition, Autopilot, Coach. I think you would have already known about this if you are already a developer. If not, it's a good read, and you can also view the video. At a high level, they have covered what does it do and how to configure. You can check that video. I'm going to quickly go, hop over to the next topic, that is integrating with external application. What is the advantage? What has changed? RPA is basically the agent that works for you, and I hope you would have got an idea. And if you are an existing UiPath developer, definitely you would have had a better control over this particular topic. You can go and see what it is, and at a high level you can learn about it. And we can head over to the module quiz. It is a 5-minute quiz. As usual, you can take over to take after completing. You can test your knowledge there. For now, I'm skipping it. I'm continuing to the next mission. So here we have Pega Constellation Design System, which talks about the design elements. What is an UI? What are the patterns? Why themes? And why do we have the guidelines? And how do you? That comes in the next. Okay, so here we have what it is, and that's what basically you can go through and you can take up this quiz. Why do we have the constellation, and why now? Because we ever since we have known for the past 10 years we are into theme Cosmos section based development, and why we are heading towards constellation. They have given the pros, cons, and like what it is, and what is a theme at a high level, because this is for a beginner, right? So at a high level they have described about the theme concept and what it is, and what are all the components, how to have a uniform look and feel. So those things are covered. You can just go through and pick the right thing that is suitable to learn. Style guide, what is a pattern library design system. So they basically say that in Pega Constellation they wanted to have the proper design concepts, right? The design thinking concepts. And so that's what they have implemented. That is their main mention here. And the next topic in that particular module is customer journey. So basically, what is a customer microjourney? Microjourney is an MLP, that is minimal lovable product, which is a business outcome and which can be released earlier. So microjourney, so they have split up what is a microjourney, like what does an business process comprises of. So it is it's a combination of microjourneys, and within microjourney we are segregating that microjourney. We are defining it as a case, and like within a case type, what do we have? What are the different users that will be part of that particular case type, that is personas, and via which channel. For example, if you are going to have a WhatsApp channel to integrate, so WhatsApp is a medium, right? So that is a channel, and you can have an email as a medium. You can you can write a claim, and eventually there can be an email listener which will create a case ID for that particular instance or for the particular business scenario. So that is a channel. And what are all the data and interfaces? So that is at a high level. They have mentioned it again over here. You have a quiz which we can also take. So this is a scenario. You can go through this scenario. They asked us what is a persona here and what is a channel here. As I already said, for example, persona is a person who does a particular activity. So here I'm going to mention customer and customer service agent, and here the channel will be customer web portal and agent web portal. We can check the answer. Obviously it will be turning true, because persona, as I already said, it defines the set of activities done by the user, and channel, what is the way a person reaches to that functionality. For example, WhatsApp, email, web portals, these are all different types of channels. Moving on to the data and interfaces. So it's good to know, okay, there is a business outcome that has been asked. For example, registering, as we already discussed right in our previous video. For example, if you want to register for a new SIM, SIM registration is a new process, but what is the data that is associated with it? For example, the phone number is a data point, right, associated with that case type. So data and the interfaces. So in a customer micro journey, what does it comprises of? It has a case life cycle, it has a persona channel, and it also has data and interfaces. So that's what been mentioned over here. I hope you have got a high level idea. It is similar to our existing concepts. Nothing, it's of no big differences. So we already covered in our earlier videos what is a case life cycle, what are cases and case type, and what does that case life cycle has. It has stages, process, and a step. So here if you are listening to it, if you can answer it, what do you think is this? So I hope you would have guessed it. These are all like stages, right? Stages. And this is, what is this? If you have said steps, then you are right. And what is this? If you have said processes, then you are right. Processes. So naming conventions. Again, and even though we are a versatile developer or any, if you have got a very good experience, always remember, and this is the fundamental concept is, whenever you are trying to name a stage, it should be in a noun, or it should be a gerund, which is verb plus, which acts as a noun phrase. So whenever you are trying to design a stage, ask these questions to yourself. This case is in what stage? For example, here there is a stage called processing. So this case is in processing stage. When does this case move to processing? How many cases are in processing? So if you could answer for that, and you get if the answer sounds correct, then it's always good to check it. And how do you name a stage? If you want to name a stage, the expectation is verb plus noun. So verb plus noun, just check, you can check the answer. Like for example, check inventory. Check is a verb, inventory is a noun. So I hope you get a gist. If it is a stage, then name it as a noun. If it is a process, then you have to, that is process alive steps, you have to name it as verb plus noun. Which two statements are true here? So you can also always go and check yourself. So moving on to the next topic, case life cycle design. So we have, these are all the generic stages, right? And we can also put a parallel process over here. What does it mean? In the sense, these two processes run in parallel. They are not dependent upon each other. They can run in parallel. So that's what they have mentioned over here. And we have something called alternate stage. We have a step over here called approve IT setup. If you are approving it, then it will go ahead in the next step. If it is getting rejected, then it gets denied and it goes for the approval rejection phase. So that is that is what is the different route. And stage transition. So generally, whenever you are creating a stage over here, we will be configuring it as automatically move to the next stage. Okay, and there are three options generally: either to wait for the user action or to automatically move to the next stage. And we have something called resolve the case. The resolve the case will generally come at the end of the particular case life cycle. So here we could see, we can easily spot which one is the resolution stage. So verification, this is the resolution stage. It has been clearly marked with an red here. And then what else do we have? Step transitions. So if you want to change a stage from one stage to another stage, you can make use of the change shape. Okay. Whereas if you want to do a transition between the steps, for example, if you have to jump, that is from select office equipment back to select seating location, then in that scenario you can make use of this particular step that's been mentioned over here. That is, here you'll have allow users to go back to the previous step. If you enable, then you will get an option. Even in that, you will get an option where like how to which step you're going to jump. So that configurations will be there, allow users to go back to previous step. And here you can drag and drop and try to see which one is right. Okay, that is a fun, this is a fun exercise, right? Just guess and try to check the answer. If you're not able to, clear, then you can also have an option, you also have an option to retry, that you can also check. Moving on to the next topic, multi-step forms, that is, you can look it over here, that is this UI definitely does not look good, and it is overload of information. So in this scenarios, the expected design format is to have a multiple step form. So multiple step form is nothing but this will be broken up into individual sections, that you can see it over here, like provide personal details, complete order details, provide payment details. So this has been broken down a section by section, and that particular multi-step form is still, it will try to get information for everything, but this individual, it has been broken up into individual sections over here. Okay, so that's what has been mentioned. So that is a multi-step form navigation. You can check this out quiz. You can either run a drag and drop multi-step form, other use case. So you can just check under which scenario you will go for a multi-step form, under which scenario you will go for other use cases. So you can take this quiz. This is an interesting quiz. Moving on to the next topic. Draft mode. So a draft mode is when you are designing a case lifecycle, you have something here, that is, you can have an option like to edit in draft mode. Initially, when you are trying to create a flow, you will not have views. In that scenario, just to test the overall flow, we will keep the case lifecycle in draft mode. So that's what been mentioned over here. It will show up errors because there is no view to render, but still you can keep it just for the designing purpose. You can keep it in draft mode, but definitely it is recommended to later on, to turn off the draft mode and properly configure all UIs and test it over. So that is about the draft mode. So you can check, means you can check this quiz later on, and then moving on to the module quiz. I'm just continuing to the mission. So what have we done so far? Okay, first at last, right, we will try to walk over this challenge, and I think we'll get to the end. So what are we trying to do? So in the channel, there is an entire class, means requirement. You can go through it and you can do it. So here we are selecting case lifecycle alone, and we're trying to create a stage, that is a review stage, and then we are automatically moving to the next stage. So here it is ideally the resolution stage, and we are resolving the case. You can rename the steps over here. The first step is the report problem. Sequentially, you can come up with the other steps. Here it is an identify location, identify submitter, and then request updates. And then you can mention what is the other steps, like review. You can also rename the process, review submission, the final stage, perform repair. You can also rename the process as a resolve issue. You can have an approval flow and also an alternate flow. Here you can send an email, select it, we can rename, and we can save it. The moment you save, you can see there will be a lot of errors because this is a draft process, and we see the view must be configured. Next, we are configuring the personas. We have designed the overall case lifecycle. Now we are going to design who is going to work on that particular case lifecycle. Now we are going to create a resident persona, and then we are going to associate a portal on which the persona will be working on, and the release under which it will be there. We are creating one more persona, services coordinator. Whenever a persona is created, at the backend, an access group will also be created. So here we are choosing under which release and for which release this persona is working for. So we are choosing the channel also, the release for manager as well. There is one last. So service coordinator, here we are choosing MLP. So now we are done with the personas and the channels. We are now going to configure the mobile channels. So the persona service coordinator will be working on both web portal and also the user mobile portal. And we are doing the same for the rest of the personas as well. We are associating the release. Now we are going to associate the data. So what are all the fields that will be visible on this particular, as part of this case lifecycle, what are all the data objects that is associated with it. So request type, and we're associating the release as well. A new data object has been created as part of this exercise called person. A release has been configured. You can save it, save and run. At a high level, it will execute the overall flow. You can click on next. We don't have any view to see the fields, so you can just click on next and advance this case, and finally advance this case. Now at the end, you're going to approve it. Once it is approved, it is been resolved as well. We see resolve completed. So this is the exercise. You have this detailed explanation over here. Whatever we have just done, you can follow up one by one, or you can view the video and you can complete it. You complete the exercise. That is the challenge of this particular mission. And we do have the data modeling. So we will resume from data model from tomorrow. For now, we have covered the basics. We will try to continue it. We will try to stay updated with it. So that's it for today. Tomorrow I will come back. I will continue the data model session. At a high level, we have reviewed, and at a high level, we have seen what is there in this 24.2 version of System Architect. Try to complete, try to have the hands-on. Even though you're an experienced professional, try to revisit. It is a fun exercise. And definitely, it strengthens your Pega muscles. Thanks for watching. See you soon.